Andy, I want to focus on one other game before we list the schedule. That is, of course, Southampton against Tottenham at St Mary's. That takes place on Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Pretty quickly, but Gareth Bale, if this does happen at the time of recording, it hasn't quite happened yet, but we think he's going to come on loan to Tottenham Real Madrid. What are your thoughts as someone who's watched Spurs closely and loves Gareth Bale as well? Do you think this is a good idea?
I can't say giving Aubameyang the contract that Arsenal gave him was potentially a bad idea when he's, I think, the exact same age as Gareth Bale and has had, is a different position, but they rely on a lot of the same things to score goals in their careers, and then say, well, this will be fine. This will be fine because it's Gareth Bale, because he's going back to Spurs. I think it's a pretty risky move. If you're Spurs, I think if you're Bale, you're kind of just grasping at anything. It's probably about the highest level that he can realistically expect to make a move right now, given what he has done or not done, I guess, the last couple of seasons with all the injuries that he's faced, and then the questions of whether he's really motivated to continue to be a player, let alone a good player. But is the golf game more important to him than his playing career as a footballer? And there's so many questions. And I think the thing that I ultimately come back to is the 2012-2013 season is one of the fondest memories I have of any team, of any single athlete, for any team that I have ever enjoyed watching to play in my entire life, the way he almost single-handedly willed them to a Champions League finish. There was a lot going on at the club at that time, and they fell just short of Arsenal and everything. But the late winners that he scored that season, you could count on it every single week. Spurs are down, they need a goal. Spurs are level, they need a goal. They have to win this game. Bale's going to score one. He's going to hit a left-footed curler from the edge of the box. It's going to find the back. The expectation was Bale's going to score and bail us out of this situation. And I think it's very. The heart for Spurs fans is going to say, I want this back because of how good it was last time. But anybody that's watched him for the last 3 or 4 years knows that he's not that player anymore. He is broken down physically, and the resources that are going to be required to sign him, the £300,000 a week salary, the wages that it's just, there are so many red flags here. And I can't help but think Daniel Levy only sees the bright, flashing headline that says, Bale back at Spurs. The fans will love it. The marketing, will be massive and everything. And it's just not the thing that they need. And by the way, if he didn't get on with Zinedine Zidane, do you think he's going to get on with Jose Mourinho?
Grab your popcorn. This is going to be great. Nick, what do you think? Bale? Good.
Three words, Joe. 3 words. And I want to give Andy a little bit of hope here, because I think about this, like right here, ready? Son, Kane, Bale. That's nuts. And I think we're seeing it with James Rodriguez. We're seeing it when Coutinho played a little bit against Barcelona. The fresh start and the devil's advocate argument, not a lot of tread on the tires the last couple of years. So maybe he's a 29-year-old's 31-year-old. And
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and let me try and roll with what Nick's doing there. Let's roll into some positivity here and finish with that. The Spurs team now is obviously much better that would be surrounding him than it was the last time that he was there. So he won't be relied on to do absolutely everything that he was, 7 years ago now in his last stint at the club. And so if, 21 goals and 5 or 6 assists, I think is what he had that season, isn't going to be the requirement, the bare minimum for him to help the team be successful. So maybe if he's more of like a 8 or 10 goals, 6 or 7 assists type of player, where he's just a little bit more of a, not a squad player. You're not going to pay a squad player that much money, but there's just enough quality around him now. None of them from the Gareth Bale money. I think it should be mentioned as well. But there's just enough quality that I think that, I don't know, maybe they can get a couple of decent seasons out of him, or if it's just the one season on loan. The romantic side of the game says this would be perfect. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
You're a romantic at heart, mate. We can't deny that. And look what Mourinho did with Zlatan for one season at Manchester United. They're going to fill you with some more hope of a player that had a lot of injuries, didn't have a lot left in the tank, but slightly different. But still, he loves big-name players, and the short-term aspect of this could work out pretty well for Tottenham. So you can watch Tottenham play Southampton, as I said, 7 a.m. Eastern Time this Sunday. Danny Ings and Southampton played pretty well against Tottenham the last few seasons, so could cause them a few problems. And the other games that we haven't mentioned coming up on the Premier League this weekend. And of course, you can go to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com to get the schedule, stream links, previews. We'll have you covered on everything that you need.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe. Make sure you subscribe to watch highlights all season long and always join us every weekend at 7 a.m. on NBCSN for Premier League mornings. Plus, make sure you subscribe to Peacock Premium as well, where you can watch exclusively live 175 games and same-day on-demand replays of all 380 Premier League matches as well.